prophet, I'm chosen to put poetry in motion. Spilling up on the pages, flowing at different paces. This flow here be the illest, cause it's coming from the realest. It's the realest, only into the real shall I reveal this. Logic made this beat himself, just so y'all can feel this. From Big L to Tupac, a Tribe Called Quest. It's the prophet, in other words, the guy that's next. It's the realest.
Alright everyone, we are back, and now it is time to talk about the coldest team since the All-Star break. And also, conversely, or in addition to that, rather, the team that we think should just give up for the rest of the season. Who wants to start it off with this? It's a rant.
Yeah,
Get to
it
rant
definitely is.
now.
Yeah,
I mean,
oh,
I was suspecting one you two to talk about the Knicks, so I didn't want to be like everyone else and talk about the Knicks. So I had a team out west whose expectations was, as of the Knicks in the beginning of the season, everyone thought they would be a playoff team. So I'm gonna give you my team. It's the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets, until last night when they picked up an upsetting win against the Mavericks, they were on a 6-game losing streak. They're 2-7 since the All-Star break. The weirdest thing about the Nuggets, right now they are, what's their record is 20. I think they're 26-34. They're 8 games under 500.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's their record.
The weirdest thing about the Nuggets, they've been dealing with a lot of injuries this year. Danilo Gallinari, one of their best offensive players, has not been able to make it on the court at all this season. Their defensive rebounder and intimidator in the post, in the paint, is JaVale McGee, and he has not been able to play this year as well. Tyler Lawson, from time to time, has been did not play. He was injured. So I feel like injuries is one of the biggest factors. George Karl is not in the system anymore. They have a new coach in Brian Shaw, who I think is a very good coach. He's just not coming into his own with his team yet, but they'll be there soon. Right now they're 9 games out of the playoff hunt, and the way I see it is you might as well just give up. I mean, play hard each day in and day out. Be competitive. I mean, you're playing in the West, so it's a good practice. You're going to be playing the best teams. So just work together as a ball club. Use those guys in the rotation and the backups, like this guy Fournier. He's their backup shooting guard. He's supposed to be really good. J.J. Hickson, who's been a really good bench player for them this year. Randy Foy, all these guys, just let them try and improve their game. The other reasons why they've been so miserable this year, besides the injuries, is they're the most penalized team in the league. They commit the most fouls in the NBA, which is not a good stat to have. And they're also 28th in points allowed and giving up 105 points a game. So that's just not playoff basketball. Playoff basketball, especially in the West, resides on defense. In order to win in the West, you're going to need to stop all these shooting teams who are just lights out, like Portland and San Antonio and Golden State, who just light you up from the three. And you're going to play some teams like the Clippers who will just beat you up in the paint. So, I mean, all these, you just got to be ready day in and day out, and that's what it means to be a playoff basketball team. You just got to play consistent. And the weird thing is Denver has shown that they can be consistent. For a team that's 26-34, they went on 2 impressive win streaks this year. But outside that, they've only racked up 14 games outside that. They went on a 5-game win streak, and they also went on a 7-game win streak at 2 separate times during the year. And that's saying something. That's saying that they could be a competitive team, and they could be a rising team. But with all this, they just couldn't keep it together, and then they had their own losing streaks, like the most recent one with the 6 games. So they're very inconsistent sometimes, and that could be a problem. Outside that, they space the floor very well. They have shooters. Randy Foy can shoot good from the outside. Ty Lawson, one of the most undervalued players in the NBA, most underrated player in the NBA. Every year this guy is emerging and getting better as a point guard. Honestly, in my opinion, he's top 10 point guard in the league. I know a lot of people. Right, Sean? Do you think Ty Lawson's a undervalued point guard?
Oh yeah. Do I think he's undervalued? Yes, absolutely. I don't know if I'd put him in my top 10.
Maybe top 15. but he's a definite starter in this league, and
Absolutely.
yeah, he's really good.
Big time.
Yeah. So besides that, yeah, Denver is my team that has been falling out of the playoff picture and needs to rebuild for next year and focus on next year. All right, so Sean, Ian, on you.
I don't know if you guys are ready. Oh my goodness.
Come on, I know you want to talk about the Knicks.
This is a disgrace. The New York Knicks.
What better than have a Knicks fan talk about?
It's an atrocity. It's an embarrassment. It's a disgrace to the sports world. It's horrible. Like, if I was Patrick Ewing or John Starks, I would be disgusted right now. Honestly. Like, they're sitting 11th in the East. They're 22-40. They're 2-13 in their last 15 games. Recently riding a 7-game losing streak until finally winning a game last night against Minnesota. And like, even their losses have been just disgraceful. I mean, the loss to the Pistons was just horrible. They had a 14-point lead at one point, and then in a blink of an eye, they're on the losing side, and Andre Drummond has a career-high 26 boards.
You know why? Because they start to tend towards that isolation basketball, which has been plaguing them the whole year.
Plaguing them the whole
I don't know why
year.
Mike Woodson needs to step up and voice his opinion on this is not winning basketball when you play isolation basketball.
You know what I think? I think Melo has too much power. That's what I think it is. I mean, me and you had a discussion the other day when it came to their loss against the Mavericks. It seemed like Mike Woodson had drew up a play.
And then broke it up.
Yeah, and Melo broke it up. Tried to take, I forgot who his defender was. Vince Carter, 1-on-1. Couldn't do anything. Shot clock winding down.
The thing is, he stood in place. He took 19 seconds off the shot clock, just dribbling back and forth. And with 5 seconds to go, he tried to make his move on Vince. And he tried to pull up to the right, make Vince jump up in the air. Vince kept his ground, didn't bite for the fake. And Melo in that situation with 2 seconds left threw it to J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith had to throw up one of those most inexcusable shots that anyone could ask for, but it wasn't J.R.'s fault. It was Melo's fault because he broke up the play that Mike Woodson designed.
Exactly.
You don't even get me started on Carmelo. He's an absolute ball stopper, and he doesn't make anybody around him better. And that's the value of a good player. They might not have even a player might not have the best numbers, but a great player makes everyone around him better. And Melo does not do that at all.
And I feel like there's a lot of inspiring Melos on the team. Like J.R. Smith, he plays the same game as Melo, just not as good. Tim Hardaway Jr. wants to be the next Melo with the shots he takes. So it's just like it's a whole bunch of Melo and baby Melos on one team. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
The Knicks would be a great keep Amari, keep Tyson, get a point guard. Play team basketball, and you guys will be back in the playoffs consistently for the next 6 to 7 years. Just get are any upcoming point guards in free agency this year?
This year, no, but I think next year, Rajon Rondo, right? So
Rondo would be a good piece. He's selfless.
Certainly. Another thing with the Knicks, though, they don't play defense.
Oh, no.
There's no defense.
No, you know what they do? They don't crash the boards, and then they leave a shooter. They don't contest shots. They're like, when they were playing the Mavericks, they left Vince Carter open continuously, and Vince Carter was knocking it down. And you know who it is?
That was a shooting drill for Vince
When
Carter.
Tim Hardaway is playing, he plays he just wants to shoot. He plays no defense.
Like, his mind is offensive minded.
And Carmelo Anthony's never been notably known for his defense.
I mean, defense, what? They're giving up an average of 111 points, which is 6th most in the NBA right now.
And you know who it is, too? Honestly, it's Tyson Chandler is not playing that defensive basketball he was playing last year.
I mean,
he's not... He's had a couple, 22 rebound games and everything, but if you watch some plays, he won't run back on defense. He'll get frustrated. He'll do a stupid flagrant foul. The team it's up in chaos. Gave up on each other.
You know what it is, though? It's that Chandler is probably thinking, I'm doing it all by myself here, so why should I even go out
Exactly.
on defense?
Tyson Chandler is the actual, like, he's the superstar of the Knicks in the standpoint because he is the leader. He is the emotional voice in the locker room. He's the guy who gets his guys going, who wants to win. Melo's just, he's a superstar, but he's not, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. He's not,
Motivation.
He's not someone that you would start your
he's
team
not like a
with.
LeBron or a Kobe. Like, he's not into, I can't.
into team camaraderie.
I would certainly say that Tyson Chandler is the best player on the Knicks right now, without a
definitely.
question.
From an overall standpoint,
From
yes.
an overall standpoint, is Tyson Chandler.
Melo carries the team for 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter, there's a stat. He shoots 33% in the fourth quarter. Every other quarter, he's shooting like over 44%. 33% in the fourth quarter, and he has like about a turnover and a half a game in the fourth quarter. He's almost averaging 2 turnovers a game in the fourth. So that's pretty. He gets all of his turnovers in the fourth quarter, and it's just like final 40 seconds. So he's improved his game from beyond the arc. He's shooting above 40%, which is phenomenal. He's starting to come into his own from beyond the 3, but there'll be, with like a minute left in the game, it'll be like a 2 or 3 point game, and Melo will try to shoot like a contestant 3 with 3 people on him. And I know Raymond Felton's had a bad year, but he's wide open at the top of the key. Raymond Felton has a better chance of hitting that shot than Carmelo Anthony does in a triple team situation. Am I right or wrong?
Yes,
Absolutely right.
absolutely right. Absolutely right.
You need to trust your teammates in a situation like that. Now, granted, if it's a one-on-one, you want to shake and bake him and pop up and pull up in his face, that's okay. But with 3 guys on you, Raymond Felton has to be open, and either J.R. Smith or Tim Hardaway, whoever's in that situation, is open.
Yeah, you have to look for the best shot, not the me shot.
Yeah, not
Which-
just because you're the superstar, like, oh, I live for a situation like this. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It's an individual thing. And to me, winning, I don't even think is a concern. I'm getting a vibe
Yeah,
from
it's statistics, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Statistics,
Building my own reputation.
building your own reputation, and basically rising your own bank account. I feel like it's about the money for these guys, and I feel like that's exactly
They want to earn contracts.
that's
Good
exactly the message that Carmelo will be sending if he decides to stay with these New York Knicks at the
not
end of
staying
his
with the Knicks.
contract. That it's just about the money. Because you're right, he would be an absolute fool to stay with these Knicks. Like, people said they should have dealt Carmelo when they had the chance. I wasn't buying it at first, but now I'm gonna be an advocate for that. Not that it matters now anyway, because the trade deadline expired, but they should have
Carmelo
dealt
Anthony.
Carmelo.
He's been in the league, what now?
10 years at least?
10 years. LeBron, Wade, Melo, Bosh. They've been in the league, what? 2004 was the draft. 2003, right?
Yeah.
2003.
It's 11 years.
Yeah.
So
They-
11 years. Over the course of those 11 years, I think Melo's made the second round twice, I want to say.
Yes.
Twice in
Yes.
11 years.
Yes. Yeah. The year the Nuggets went to the final, to the Western Conference Finals in 2009, and last year with the Knicks.
They went to the Western Finals 2009, the Nuggets?
Yeah.
Oh, see.
Lost to the Lakers.
Okay, so he's been to the conference finals once.
Yeah, but I mean, what if you're supposedly a superstar and an elite player, one of the top 10 players in the league, and you've been to the playoffs multiple times and have been
The same argument could be said
struggling
about
there?
Tracy McGrady. He never got out of the first round, and he was the best player in the league, arguably, at one point.
Exactly.
Never got out of the first round.
I just think Melo is certainly, no matter who he goes to, unless he changes his game and accepts a lesser role and doesn't chuck up as many shots as he does, and actually knows that there's another side of the ball called defense, unless he does that, he is never going to win.
Exactly. You know
A
what the problem? I think Melo's a great basketball player. I'm not taking anything away from him, but
He's
the problem-
talented.
He's
That's it.
talented, but the way when I look at Carmelo Anthony, I look at he is my scorer. He's not my best player from an overall standpoint. He should be that second guy on the team. He should get maybe like a $10 or $12 million contract, not an 18 or 20 like some of these other guys are making. But maybe if Melo worked with a point guard or something, he needs to be that second guy.
He needs a point guard that's gonna say, you know what,
Yes.
you're not getting the ball. Like, let's make a play or something. I'm not giving.
Like the
you
only
ball.
time Melo should get the ball is he gets the ball in the post and they need a shot. Like that's okay, but not like these contested fadeaway threes with 3 people on you.
Exactly, and that's another thing. That makes Melo's team so easy to defend because the other team knows Melo's going to shoot it. So they don't even have to worry about really playing defense against the other guys because they know that Melo won't pass it. They
That's
know
why they're trapping him in these double and triple teams, and Carmelo is like not taking advantage of it.
exactly. So finally, teams are realizing that hey, the Knicks go as far as Melo can make a shot, and that's it, really. So I think that the Knicks are just in disarray right now. But another team that might even make the Knicks look good is the Philadelphia 76ers, losers of 15 straight, 0-11 in the month of February.
Haven't won a game since the All-Star break, right?
No, seven losses since,
Not to mention that a couple 40-point losses.
since the All-Star break. They're giving up 111 points per game. 111. That is by far the worst average in the NBA.
Are they giving up triple doubles to centers though, like the Knicks?
Yeah, but I mean, Philly.
But what Ian makes a good point. Philly's expectations was of this. The Knicks were not.
That's true. That's true.
So, I mean, we can expect this from Philly.
that's true.
New York
But
22 and 40. You're expecting 40 and 22. The opposite. Am
that's
I right or wrong?
You're right.
I wasn't expecting 40 and 22 from
Well,
the
I
Knicks.
mean-
I was thinking maybe like 35 and 27, maybe
Yeah,
more.
teams were expecting the Knicks 3rd or 4th seed in the East, behind the Heat, Pacers, and or the Bulls or whoever at that point. You know what I mean?
Philly. That's true. That's true. But Philly is just absolutely looking horrendous right now. In their I believe it might be in the month of February, they lost by an average of 18.9 points per game. An average of 19 points a game. They're getting blown out every single night. According to the Elias Sports Bureau, this is the worst month for an NBA team since the Clippers in January of 1989 when they went winless.
Wow,
You know what?
that's even worse than the Nets team that was when they traded Vince Carter and it was just Devin Harris. They went like, what was their record that year? They went like 13 and 69.
Yeah,
They had a worse month than the Nets had?
apparently, yeah.
Wow.
I
That
found-
Net team was bad. Remember that Net team?
Oh, horrible. Horrible.
I found something funny about that with Evan Turner. His first game with the Pacers, in the post-game interview, he said it felt good to finally win a game. He didn't know how that felt in so long.
Philly is just in total disarray. I mean, I was just
I
looking
think
at
Arizona could beat them. One of the college teams
Oh,
could beat Philly.
absolutely. I think like anyone in the top 25 could beat Philly right now with the way the Sixers are playing. I was looking at the power rankings on ESPN.com earlier today, and they dropped Philly to the last spot, number 30, and they were like, I think it said, who would have thought that someone would be able to knock the Bucks out of the 30 spot? And they said, well, with the way Philly's been playing, that's why. So I think the Sixers are just have already packed it up and have said, you know what? Let's see who's gonna come out in the draft and how high a draft pick we can
I
get.
tell you right now, if they pick Andrew Wiggins for the first pick, I'd be so disappointed in the Philadelphia organization. That's a horrible first pick. I don't think Andrew Wiggins is the best player in that draft.
No, he's not the best player.
Top 10, yes. Not.
Certainly. He's got a lot of potential.
Oh yeah.
But I think
He's definitely one of the more athletic players. When I say athletic, I mean like a slasher who can posterize and finish through contact. A lot of these other guys are more just like perimeter scorers.
Wiggins is going to be one of the most exciting players to come out of this draft.
Yeah.
But I think that if we're talking best,
I mean-
he's not at the
At
very
best, I can
top.
compare him to someone like Jason Richardson. At best, I can see Andrew Wiggins being of that in the NBA. You know what I mean? I can't see him being an all-star in this league. No, definitely no. But I can see him being like a Jason Richardson, a good player who probably average around 13 points a game through his career. You know what I mean? Made a couple highlight plays.
Right. But anyway, this segment was not it was not supposed to be an NBA draft preview.
that's true.
And
My bad.
obviously the
About the Sixers.
the-
I had to say Wiggins.
the Knicks, the Sixers, and the Nuggets are not moving in the right direction unless that direction is trying to get a better pick in the draft coming up.
I mean, those guys, I'll tell you right now, they got their vacation plans all booked
Oh, they
everywhere.
they know that they
The
can start hit,
Bahamas.
they know that they can start.
What do you guys think about, since the Knicks are 6 games out, or 5.5 of the 8th spot? What about if the Knicks were to go try? There's a couple good point guards in this draft. Do you think the Knicks should try and draft a point guard, or no? Do you think any of these point guards have potential to impact an organization?
I think the Knicks need
A starting point guard, I'm
a s-
talking about, yeah.
a point guard somewhere.
Yeah.
What about Marcus Smart? Maybe they can draft up and get him. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, obviously his first year. I mean,
Yeah,
the Knicks want to win, and they want to win now.
That'd be a lot to expect from a rookie in his first
Yeah.
year. A lot. I
Unless
think
he has like Damian Lillard
they need-
aspirations.
the Knicks right now need a veteran point guard who's still got some good years ahead of him, and to just take control of the team. Because you know what the thing is, a rookie point guard is gonna look to Melo and say, okay,
Yes.
what play should I run? And of course Melo's gonna say, here's the play. You pass me the ball.
I
and
think
then
so
and
too.
then-
That's a really good point. Melo,
and then
Melo
stand
would
around.
sort of be like, "Yo, give me the ball."
Right. So I think they need a veteran.
I'm the point of this team.
The-
I run the offense, not you.
They need a veteran point guard to say, you know what, Carmelo? No, I'm running the offense, and you'll get your turn. You'll get your shots up, but you're not taking
You know who would
every
be really
single
good?
shot.
You know who would be really good at leading this Knicks team? Chris Paul. Because Chris Paul he's one of those guys who will get in your face on the court.
Well, Chris
Paul will.
Chris Paul makes any team better.
No, that's. I mean,
So,
I'm just
I mean-
talking about from his own, you know what I mean? Like his demeanor and his personal,
They need someone
that
like
killer instinct he
Exactly.
has.
they need someone like Chris Paul.
Even Rondo's like him to extend. He's very emotional. He'll get on his player's back. You know what I mean?
I think Rondo might be the perfect fit because he's been in the league a while, so he's got veteran experience, and he's young, so he's still got a lot of years ahead of him, and he's not happy in Boston. So I think Rondo would be a perfect pickup for the Knicks. But anyway, what all the talk is good, but it's not going to help these teams either win or improve by getting players. So obviously we can see who's just tanking right now. And we will take a quick break and then be back with our weekly pick'em.